The fans filling Rangers ballpark in Arlington have become a reflection of the team they cheer for. Passionate and positive, demonstrating a respect for the game on a nightly basis. There is no doubt that energy helps their heroes. Tonight, another sellout crowd is here to support the Rangers against the New York Yankees. Fifth packed house of the year for Game 3 of the series between the Rangers and the New York Yankees at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. 47,000 plus making their way in. Some have made their way over to Jim Knox.
Ranger fans out in full force, rooting the Rangers on as they look to take 2 out of 3 against the Yankees tonight. We will see first pitch between the Rangers and Yankees coming up next on Fox Sports Southwest.
Baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your local Ford dealer and drive the 2012 F-150 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Ford is the best in Texas. By a reminder from Budweiser, great times are waiting, designated driver. And by the Progressive Insurance Group. For money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. And welcome inside Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Dave Barnett along with Tom Green. So many things stood out about the 2-0 win last night. Obviously, Yu Darvish, but also more fine early season work from Elvis Andrus.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why the Rangers are off to a great start. One of the main reasons is the play of Elvis Andrus. There's no doubt about that. He hasn't really gotten hot offensively yet, but he's still a catalyst when he gets on base. A big stolen base Last night, his defense has been impeccable. He has not made an error yet, and watch this play. He makes that 360 look routine. This hot smash by A-Rod is turned into an out. From time to time over the last couple of years, Ron Washington had to remind Elvis to maintain his concentration. Doesn't look like that's going to be a problem this year.
And for more, let's send it down and welcome Emily Jones.
Well, guys, we all know the hot start that this offense has been off to, but not everyone has gotten off to the scorching hot start that like Josh Hamilton and Michael Young have. Nelson Cruz, one of those guys, and he actually says that it makes things easier when the team is clicking on all cylinders like it is. It takes some of the pressure off of the individuals.
Everything come together, you know. All the offenses coming, the pitchers are doing a really good job, and you know the defense and relievers, everybody is amazing the way we play. You know, whatever we need to do for winning that game, we do it. It's really neat.
Nelson Cruz with tonight's Geico quote of the game, and of course these Rangers know that different guys are going to step up at different points in the season, and Nelson says it's nice to see that this team is finding different ways to win, and we've said it a number of times already in this young season, but it really is one of the really encouraging things to see this early on is how they're able to win in so many different ways, guys.
Last night with pitching and defense, and tonight Scott Feldman takes the mound for his first start and just his third outing of the season. He's thrown only 2 1/3 innings so far, with Ranger rotation routinely working at least 5, 6, sometimes 7, 8 innings. Same exact lineup as last night for Joe Girardi. The only difference, A-Rod is at third and Chavez is DHing, but Derek Jeter leading off. Curtis Granderson, then Rodriguez. Cano batting cleanup ahead of Teixeira, Swisher in right, Ibanez in left. Chavez DHing and batting 8th ahead of the catcher Russell Martin. Rubber game of the series. Rangers have not lost a series for the last 10 regular season series they have played.
Now, Scott had a couple of spot starts last season and pitched well in those spot starts. It's tough to stay in tune with things when you've only pitched twice during the season, but I look for Scott to be effective. He knows he's a veteran. He knows how to keep his timing out in the bullpen, how often to throw and how to maintain it. I look for him to be able to throw 75 or 80 pitches if Ron Washington needs him to do that tonight, and do a good job. He's a veteran and knows how to throw strikes.
Jeter lines one into center field, and he is on to begin the game. And here's the Ranger defense tonight. Murphy, Hamilton, and Cruz in the outfield, with Beltre, Andrews, Kinsler, and Morland in the infield. And again, Mike Napoli doing the catching. So a leadoff single by Jeter brings up Curtis Granderson. Granderson 0 for 3 last night. Had a key at bat in the 3rd inning with the bases loaded, nobody out, and Darvish struck him out looking, and then got A-Rod to hit into a double play to end the best Yankees scoring threat of the night. 88 degrees. Warmest game yet. 2 degrees above where we started last night. But same conditions as far as the jet stream is concerned. 15 to 25 miles an hour. Howling in from right, turning around and sending fly balls, if they're hit in the right direction, which never happened last night, right back out that way. Very unusual to see conditions like this in a 2-0 game. No one taking advantage last night. Pitching was too good by Darvish and by Hiroki Kuroda. And there is Brian Runge, Marvin Hudson at first, crew chief Tim McClellan at second, and Ted Barrett is at third. And a 1-2 count on Granderson. Granderson reached only on a walk last night, and he has reached base with the one exception of a hitless opening day. 6 homers, 12 RBIs. Big breaking ball tap foul. Still 1-2. This for the Yankees' final game of a 5-game trip. They've won 3 of the 4. 2-game sweep in Boston with a rain out on Sunday. They won their 6-2 on Friday, and then 15-9 Saturday after trailing early 9-0. And Monday winning here 7-4. Fouled off again. Scott Feldman, 30th round draft pick, 2003, out of College of San Mateo in California. Last year, 3.5 months on the DL. Microfracture surgery on his right knee, November of 2010, 2 days after the World Series ended. He recovered for a while now, but very strong during the spring. Sinking action was back. Cut fastball was back. We'll be counting on both those weapons tonight, no doubt. And the 2-2 pitch swung on and missed.
High fastball, threw it right by Granderson. Granderson is a terrific player, a dangerous power hitter. He was a little bit prone to the strikeout, though. Last year he struck out 169 times. He also hit 41 home runs and walked 85 times. But Scott was able to get him there after a number of pitches. Gets that first out.
So Rangers hoping for double play here again from Alex Rodriguez, who takes inside.
That's an important pitch for Scott. The sinker that tails into the right-hand hitters, away from the left-hand hitters. Yu Darvish was terrific last night with his ability to cut the ball and to make it sink.
Too low there. 2 balls and no strikes. 119 pitches, and Joe Nathan only needed 1 to get the game-ending double play. Behind a real masterpiece and Darvish's 4th major league start. He got some very awkward-looking swings and misses from this potent Yankee lineup last night. A-Rod could do nothing with him.
It was interesting reading the quotes from several Yankee hitters after the game. They were obviously very complimentary of Yu Darvish. Said he was everything that they'd heard and more.
The 2-1 pitch fouled off and the count even. Not much of a trip so far for Alex Rodriguez, just 3 for 16.
Fortunately, one of them was a home run the other night.
2 of them home runs, actually. Yeah, Monday 3-run homer. Homered at Fenway Park. He's at 632 for his career, 5th all time.
Good pitch right in on the fists. There's that sun setting behind the stadium down the first base line. It's finally out of the left fielder's eyes, but that's what he has to contend with as it does set behind the stadium. As the summer goes on, it'll be a little bit more of a problem for the first 20 minutes of the game. Ooh.
Brian Runge said low, and it's 3-2.
Yeah, borderline. Could have gotten a call. Didn't get the call. Maybe the next one he'll get it.
And there goes Jeter, swung on, safe at second base.
You generally don't see a guy called safe when the ball beats him there. Tim McClellan said, though, that Ian tagged him up on the hip. Ian's counter to that was, yeah, that's where I tagged him, but I tagged his hip before he got to second base.
Ron Washington has not come out to argue very many calls at all this year. I gotta figure he's pretty sure he has an argument here. Almost a strike him out, throw him out, inning-ending double play.
Well, we'll decide for ourselves.
Yep, out.
I'd say he's out.
Tagged on the hip, but he had not hit the base yet. Out right there. There's the foot on the bat. Tim McClellan missed that one, so Jeter stays in scoring position with 2 outs for Robinson Cano.
Now, again, you have to remind everybody we've got the slow motion instant replay, which makes it a lot easier for us. No damage done.
So after the leadoff single by Jeter and the stolen base, Feldman in an 18-pitch first, nothing for the Yankees. Rangers coming to bat. In the Rangers lineup will begin as usual with a second baseman Kinsler. Andrus in short. Josh Hamilton is in center. Adrian Beltre cleanup and playing third base. The DH is Young. Cruz in right. Murphy left. Napoli catching. Mitch Morland batting ninth and playing first against Phil Hughes.
Hughes is 1-2. Really hasn't had a good outing yet. He's had 3 outings. He's 0-2 against the Rangers in the 2010 ALCS with about 11.5 ERA. He has pitched well in his career following a Yankee loss, but that can be a little misleading. You go back to 2010 when he was 18-8. He hasn't really done much since then. A lot of time on the disabled list last year with an inflamed right arm. Only pitched 74 innings last year. He's trying to regain the form that made him an 18-game winner not too long ago. But so far this year, it's been a struggle. Opponents are hitting .317 against him.
Ian Kinsler looking for his first hit against Hughes. Hughes almost hits him 1-1.
Yankees got some bad news. Michael Pineda, the really fine young all-star right-hander that they got in a trade with Seattle, is going to miss the whole year. Labrum surgery on his right shoulder. That's a devastating blow to him and the Yankees.
That's a blow for baseball fans. Michael Pineda is something to watch. Was last year with Seattle. Liner right to Robinson Cano. Hard hit out #1 for Kinsler. Yankee defense second in the majors to Seattle in fielding percentage with Ibanez, Granderson, Swisher. Again the outfield. A-Rod at third. Jeter, Cano, Teixeira, and again Russell Martin doing the catching. So with 6 errors. Seattle and Boston also have made only 6 errors, fewest in the major league so far. And here's Elvis Andrus, also looking for his first hit against Hughes. Last night managed to contribute quite a lot without a base hit. He was 0 for 3, worked a walk, stole a base, scored a run, and we showed you some of the sparkling defense at the beginning of the broadcast. And looks at strike 2. Ron Washington talking about Elvis at length before the game tonight. Said he felt he came to spring training with his defensive rhythm and timing just right, and he thought that was outside. Ryan Runge says strike 3.
That was a cutter at 88 miles an hour. Got ahead with his fastball and then zipped the outside corner. You can see Martin way on the outside corner, and there's the pitch. Elvis thought it was a little bit outside. If you're the pitcher, you want it. If you're the hitter, you don't like it very much. Umpire has a decision to make, and he went with a strike.
Josh Hamilton taking the first pitch, not doing that too often this year.
High changeup, he couldn't reach it. He wanted to swing. Same pitch. That one got a little bit of the plate, evidently.
Hamilton with, counting tonight, 5 games left in the month of April, needing 1 home run to tie the club record for April. It's been done 4 times, 9 homers. Most recently, Ian Kinsler in 2007. Starts tonight 3rd in batting. Home run leader. Second, Nick Swisher, and runs batted in. Picks out the low curve, not assisted by Teixeira. And the Rangers go in order in their half of the first. And Mark Teixeira will lead things off for the Yankees, followed by Nick Swisher and Raul Ibanez. Scott Feldman needing just 18 pitches in the first after a leadoff single by Jeter. The stolen base left him at second. And here is Teixeira looking for his first hit of the series. He is 0 for 8. Not having much of a road trip so far. 3 for 18. 2 of those hits, though, home runs Saturday from both sides of the plate, extending his own major league record. 13th time he has done that. And he reaches out, beats the shift.
He obviously doesn't hit many balls that way. Otherwise, the Rangers wouldn't have put the shift on. But that pitch was a low sinker down and away. That's about all he could do with that pitch.
Let's welcome Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Dave. We got some Little Leaguers in from Flower Mound rooting the Rangers on tonight. Good to have them. In Community Corner tonight, we're talking about former Ranger greats. A few of them last week teamed up the Rangers baseball staff, foundation that is, and they had a big fantasy camp for kids. 50 participants for the Miracle League took place in this camp. They had a ball. They had autographs, also got some jerseys. They got some great instruction. To find out more about camps and other activities, log on to TexasRangers.com/foundation. Dave?
All right, Jim. And here's Nick Swisher, who takes low.
Doesn't get much better than that. Fielding ground balls from Bobby Witt and getting to hit off of Jim Kern.
But they got a kick out of Emu. Who doesn't? Nick Swisher 1 for 8 in the series. And way out in front.
A lot of swings and misses by the Yankees early in this game. Scott had about 10 pitches right before he struck out Granderson. Then disposed of Rodriguez and Cano quickly.
Last year, Feldman limited to 11 appearances and only 2 starts. This is lifted into left field for David Murphy. And to share back to first. This MLB on Fox season, Fox Sports is proud to support Boys and Girls Clubs of America, a place where youth can reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. To learn more, visit greatfutures.org/Fox Sports. So 1 out, here's Ibanez, 39-year-old veteran. 0 for 4 last night, 2 strikeouts, and he saw the only pitch thrown by Joe Nathan, grounded into the game-ending double play, and he takes high for ball 1. 9 RBIs on 11 hits this year for Ibanez. He's made him count. And a good small sample against Feldman.
Yeah, Raul Ibanez has had a very nice career. Best years were probably with Seattle. He knocked in over 100 runs 4 or 5 times. Last 3 years he's been with Philadelphia. Going to be 40 years old. Late in his 30s with Philadelphia for 3 years. He averaged 23 home runs and almost 90 RBIs. He's still in great shape for a guy almost 40. Still a very productive player.
And they need him with Brett Gardner on the disabled list with a strained right elbow. Andrew Jones and Ibanez filling the gap in left field. Here's the 2-1 pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Feldman gets another swing and a miss.
Again, a lot of swings and misses tonight by the Yankees early in the game. Granderson, A-Rod. High fastball, threw it right by him.
So the 2-2 pitch. It's going to be above the zone, but Ibanez offered, fouled it back.
It works out good for the spot start tonight for Scott for a lot of reasons. We talked about it in the pregame show. The bullpen is well rested. Tomorrow's an off day, so Ron Washington really can use the bullpen any way he wants tonight. Hopefully Scott pitches 5 innings, has a lead. You end up seeing Ogando, Adams, and Nathan for the last 3 innings. That'd be great. No matter how it goes with an off day tomorrow, everything is set up well. Probably a good chance you'll see Robbie Ross tonight, maybe for a couple of innings, as a matter of fact. Mark Lowe and Koji Uehara were very effective on Monday against the Yankees. They could also pitch early. And you might see a lot of the guys in the bullpen tonight. Might see 4 or 5 of them, depending on how the game goes.
No, Wash even said chance you might see Neftali Feliz out of the bullpen.
Ooh, I didn't think of that one.
And does not plan to start him in the Tampa Bay series. Feliz expected to work next on Tuesday in Toronto. He's a possibility as well. 3-2 pitch. is lined to center field, and coming on is Hamilton for the grab. The throw to first in time. Double play.
Well, Josh said he wants to win a Gold Glove, and when they show the highlights of that play, that's a pretty good step in the right direction right there. A diving catch and a one-hop strike to first base. Not many people can do this.
Not about the score, it's about the experience. So tune in each Saturday at 10 a.m. here on Fox Sports Southwest, or visit hometownkids.tv for more information. Beltre, Young, and Cruz in the Rangers second. After a sparkling 8-3 double play. Beltre hammers the first pitch deep to center and gone. Way up Greens Hill. 1-0 Rangers.
Well, he didn't see it last night because of the quality of the pitching. Superb pitching from both pitchers last night. But the same conditions are here that were here last night. That ball is going to jump when it's hit to center field and right center field. And Beltre smoked that ball, and it got out of here in a hurry, 3/4 of the way up the hill in center field. That ball was gone the second he made contact.
Home run number 3 for Beltre this year, the 11th of his career against the Yankees, most of any current Ranger. Did he turn on the inside fastball? Michael Young next up. That is way up that hill. Fan isn't used to climbing that high. Chase down those long balls. Cover up the helmet. All over it. Price he pays.
Well, when you hit him 400 and whatever, 35 feet, 40 feet to center field, you can put up a little head rub.
Even better than that, Tom. 441 feet.
Wow.
And now 3 balls in the strike to Michael. Young 0 for 7 against Hughes, and 0 for 7 the first 2 games of this series. It's the first consecutive hitless games for Michael Young since last August 20th and 21st against the White Sox. And Jeter on the ground ball has the first out of the Rangers' second. Michael Young's so consistent. This is just the second time since last June he has had consecutive hitless games. Beltre cooling down after taking that one 441 to straightaway center. And here is Nelson Cruz. Takes the curve high, and Elliott 257. 2 homers, 10 RBIs. This one will slice into the seats. Well, a fixture in the lineup every game. He has started in right field. Last 2+ years, Ranger home run leader. And Jeter handles out number 2. Hitting the road, take the Rangers with you this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Rangers out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit TexasRangers.com to order. Get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. There is strike 1 to David Murphy. 14th start in left field this year for David, hitting .333. Off to his best start as a Ranger, 1-1. 5-game hitting streak coming into tonight. Beltre with that home run breaking a tie for the major league lead in homers. These two had each totaled 28 home runs coming into tonight. One of a number of areas where the Rangers are right at the top, not only in the American League but in the majors offensively. First now in homers. Team batting average at .292. Runs now a total of 101. Fine work of Scott Coolbaugh, the Rangers hitting coach. And a chopper right back to the mound, and Phil Hughes handles the third out. But his first pitch of the second inning, very much to the liking of Adrian Beltre. And after 2, the Rangers lead it 1-0. Southwest, brought to you by Geico Insurance, by the all-new Mazda CX-5, and by Ace Cash Express. And the third inning beginning with Eric Chavez, DH, batting 8th, and strike 1. Scott Feldman has allowed leadoff singles each of the first 2 innings.
Dave, I've got to say, it's been a banner night in the food department.
Has it ever?
Banner night. Started off with the gigantic submarine sandwiches from my neighbor Gary Campanazzi, homemade Italian submarine sandwiches. Consensus in the booth up here is that most people have not had one better than Gary's. Moved on to Joan Hughes, who sent up some delicious chocolate chip cookies. The Cake Ball Queen has struck this year with the Snickerdoodle cookie cake balls. They were great. She asked if we prefer white chocolate covered or chocolate covered. What's your preference?
I'm going to go chocolate covered.
Chocolate covered?
Yeah.
Okay. There's the answer to that question.
There's no wrong answer there.
No, not really. Then, maybe the prize of the night, the cookie dough brownie from the Holben family in Richardson. I say that only because Eric Nadell came in, couldn't resist. Eric doesn't eat a lot of sweets, but he tried one, and the look on his face and the wow that he said was all we needed to know about those cookies.
That was Eric's annual dessert. And a call, strike 3 to Chavez on the outside corner. Strikeout number 3 for Feldman.
3 strikeouts. Great start for Scott so far. Take a look at the pitch. Chavez didn't like it. Brought it back. We've seen that pitch called tonight by Brian Runge for both teams. Borderline pitch. I think the hitter would say it's a little bit outside, but hitters on both sides have seen that call.
Oh, here is the catcher, Russell Martin.
Also want to thank Brittany Galloway from Graham, Texas for the lemon cupcakes. She says it's her birthday. Thanks for helping her celebrate. Thank you.
Morland feeds Feldman for the second out.
Boy, the more I talk about food, the more out Scott Feldman gets. Too bad there wasn't any more tonight. I could make some up, I guess.
Go on memory.
No,
Go through the highlights of last year.
That was a great night. You know, the best part of the cookies is bringing them through the press box and just watching the look on their faces in there. We have a lot more members this year from the Japanese media, and it's always nice to be able to offer them some of our Texas sweets. They're very polite. They usually bow their head and say thank you very much. Very seldom do they turn it down, by the way.
Let's go down to Emily Jones.
Tom, you know I never turned down cookies.
Emily took a chocolate chip.
I did take one, and it was very, very good. I thank you. I thank you for that.
Derek Jeter, 2 for 2.
Glad there's not 9 Jeters in the lineup.
He's extended his hitting streak. Well, did in the first inning to 15 games. Longest current streak in the league. Another single, this with 2 outs.
Yeah, Scott hung that one a little bit. Fortunately, Jeter only got a single on it.
So he has 2 of the 3 Yankee hits. Also stole second in the first. Anderson struck out his first time up. And a better curve there. That's right to the bottom of the strike zone. 0-1. One of the challenges for Feldman, the Ranger bullpen tonight. Power of Granderson. And the fact that the Yankees do not take a liking to being shut out. From 2008 on, the game following a shutout, they are 23-7, and they've won their last 6.
All streaks are meant to be broken.
Good start tonight toward that end. This block in the dirt by Napoli, 2 balls and a strike. The Yankees part of a 4-way tie for the AL East lead, all at 10-7 coming into play today. Baltimore, New York, Tampa Bay, and Toronto. Tampa Bay leading the Angels 2-1, bottom of the fourth. The Rays are next in here for a three-game weekend series beginning Friday night. Inside 3 balls and a strike. C.J. Wilson getting the start for the Angels, but trailing. Baltimore is leading Toronto 2-0, bottom of the sixth. And the 3-1 pitch fouled off and a full count as the Rangers play the overshift on Granderson, much as they did on Teixeira. Only Beltre on the left side of the infield. Well, Andrus moving over now to the left side of second base.
The other thing that the spot start does for Scott Feldman is it's a great opportunity for him to stay sharp, to get some innings, to work on his pitches. Because there'll be some times where you really need Scott in a long relief role, and an outing like this does a lot to keep him in shape and keep him sharp.
And fouled off with Jeter running at 3-2.
The off day, you have the luxury of pushing Felice back a little bit. First year as a starter, he threw a lot of pitches in his last start. That'll work out well for him.
Great matchup Friday night, too. 2 3-0 pitchers head to head. Matt Harrison against James Shields. And inside for ball 4. So Feldman issuing his first walk. 2 on with 2 outs for A-Rod.
Third baseman Alex Rodriguez.
Tommy Feliz available out of the bullpen tonight. As Rangers will skip his start. He'll start next as currently planned Tuesday in Toronto. Washington hoping for 4 or 5 innings, 60-65 pitches tonight out of Scott Feldman.
94 with that fastball. Scott heating it up right there to A-Rod. Also had a nice note from Alan Stubble from Plano. His wife's father was Gene Woodling. Great ball player back in the 40s and 50s. Used to play for the Yankees. Gene's wife Betty lives with them in Plano. Betty's 89 years old now. I remember Gene Woodling. My dad took us to Yankee Stadium sometime in the 50s when Gene Woodling was playing for the Indians, and he hit a 3-run homer against the Yankees in a game the Indians won 7-1. I remember that because I was a Yankee fan, and driving home I was disappointed. But it's how I first got to know who Gene Woodling was. So thanks for the note, Alan. Thank you right there for that ground ball.
Kinsler feeding Andrews on Feldman's 50th pitch. No runs, a hit, 2 left in the Yankee third. Napoli to lead off for the Rangers. May 16th against the Oakland A's. You can save 50% on tickets for this ballpark tradition when you purchase them on TexasRangers.com. Get your Ozarka website Wednesday tickets and plan your trip to Dollar Dog Night at TexasRangers.com/specials. 1-0 to the bottom of the third, and it's Napoli, Morland, and Kinsler against Phil Hughes. Only one hit allowed. It was a leadoff homer on the first pitch of the second inning by Adrian Beltre. Napoli takes up and in. 1 for 7 the first 2 games of this series. But against Hughes, he's done some damage. And against the league, he has done some damage. 6 homers, tied for second. Top 10 at RBIs with 13. And in slugging percentage. Yankee pitching has never held Mike Napoli down much. It's a good curve, and it's 1-2. Hot last 8 games. And in 30 games in his career against New York pitching, .322. Up high and 2-2. Rangers started today 5.5 ahead of the A's, who have picked up a half game, beating Chicago 5-4. And that is a call, strike 3. Hughes' second strikeout.
Definitely got the corner and a lot of the plate. Hughes is throwing the ball well. Yankees pitchers, Sabathia, the first night threw the ball well. He gave up 4 runs, a couple of them late, but he threw the ball really well that night. Baroda last night threw the ball really well. There they are sitting together. And Hughes so far early in the game is throwing the ball well too.
Strike 1 to Mitch Morland. Washington hoping that a string of right-handed starters can get Mitch going. Looks at strike 2. He's had some hard hit outs this year.
He had one last night right at Mark Teixeira that was really hit hard.
3 for his last 27. As he looks at that one high. Pitch number 34 for Hughes, and that is belted. There's a base hit to center field. Morland aboard with 1 out, with the Rangers' second hit of the night.
Very well hit ball. They did find a hole right there. High fastball.
We'll bring up Ian Kinsler. I don't think I've ever gotten the explanation from you on how you grew up in Massachusetts a Yankee fan.
Well, it's funny. When I was about probably 5 years old, I was down in the cellar watching the man that was painting our house mix the paint. And you're going to have to wait to hear the end of this. Now it's going to fall in.
Down the right field line and fair. And a double for Ian Kinsler, sending Morland around to third. And with 1 out, the Rangers have 2 in scoring position.
Well, Ian hit a bullet right straight at Cano the first time up for an out. And this time he loops one down the right field line for second and third and only 1 out. So while he was mixing the paint and I was watching him, he said to me, "I'll bet you're a Red Sox fan." And just the way he said it made me say, "No, I'm not." And then when he said, "Who do you like?" the only other team I even knew was the Yankees. So I said the Yankees. And then I said to myself, okay, I'm a Yankee fan. That's as simple as that.
You had made your commitment.
And the funny thing is, when I made that commitment, my mother did too, just because I did. And she still listens to Yankee games on the radio. Not as much as she used to. She used to love listening to Phil Rizzuto and Bill White. That was her all-time favorite pairing. And still to this day, she's a Yankee fan, except when they play the Rangers.
Well, Phil Hughes' parents were Red Sox fans.
Were they?
Yep. Father's from New England. And Ian Kinsler safe at second. Safe and secure in New York life.
A couple of calls have gone against Elvis. He's no balls and 2 strikes. So you got a battle right here. Men on second and third. Fly ball brings in a run. Granderson's playing really shallow in center field. Elvis gets a line drive up in the air. It'll shoot right over his head. Swisher's shallow in right field. They haven't seen the jet stream here.
1-2. Phil Hughes grew up with a poster of Nomar Garcia Parra in his bedroom. Autographed pictures of Ted Williams and Carl Yastrzemski hung in his dad's home office in Santa Ana, California.
My cousins grew up in Wellesley, which is right outside of Boston. They were big Red Sox fans. And for Christmas, when I was probably 5 or 6, they sent me an autographed ball by Ted Williams. It's the first Major League ball I'd ever seen, the only brand new ball that I had. And one day in the wintertime, it was probably maybe in the 40s. Sun was out, snow was on the ground, and my sister and I went out and played catch with that ball and ruined it.
Oops. Curve is grounded slowly to A-Rod. And the out at first as Morland comes home.
It didn't look like much, but when you're down no balls and 2 strikes, just making contact is important. And really, that little dribbler to third base is the same thing as a 390-foot fly ball to right field. You get the run in. Now it counts as an at-bat as opposed to no at-bat, but it's an RBI for Elvis, an important run in the game, and shows you have to have the concentration to make contact, and he made enough contact to get that run in.
His 8th RBI. Kinsler advancing to third. So he's there for 2 outs. And here is Hamilton, who grounded to first to end the first. It's now even at 3 apiece. Rangers have the only 2 runs. And again, Hamilton taking the first pitch.
Yeah, one thing I think you can bet on, if Josh takes the first pitch and I'm the umpire, I have to call it a ball. Because if it's a strike, he's swinging at it. You don't even have to look where the ball is. Just look at Josh's bat. If he doesn't swing, call it a ball.
It's kind of the Ted Williams rule. If Ted Williams didn't swing, it couldn't have been a strike.
Pretty much. And for Josh, it's on the first pitch for sure.
Few games left for Josh to tie or perhaps break the April club record for homers. And that hit him.
Yeah, that hurts right above the knee. Josh trying to shake it off before he goes down to first base.
First hit batsman this year for Phil Hughes.
Now you can see the catcher Martin set up inside. He's trying to throw the cutter inside and jam Josh. He just held on to it a little too long and pulled it inside.
Let's listen. Yeah, you can hear that. First time Josh has been hit by a pitch. So first and third with a run in, 2 outs. And here is Adrian Beltre, who jumped on the first pitch of the 2nd inning and almost cleared Greens Hill and straightaway center field, 441 feet. His 3rd homer of the year.
A lot of strikes for Hughes, 31 strikes, 13 balls. One strike he'd like to have back, though, is the one he grooved to Beltre.
Here comes the 20th pitch of the inning. And here it was, first pitch, 2nd inning. Got some altitude on Greens Hill. Something he has done a number of times to Yankee pitchers. Talking about the Red Sox, they're having a good night so far, leading 4-1 in the second at Minnesota.
The Orioles are winning again tonight, 2-0. They're tied for first place in the American League East. 4 teams in the East are 10-7.
There's a three-way tie atop the Central. Cleveland, Chicago, Detroit, all 3 over 500.
First 2.5 weeks of the season, we have parity in the American League.
Except in the West. It's lonely up the top. Rangers, as we said, after Oakland's win this afternoon, up 5 on the A's. Seattle started the day 6-back, and they're piling it on Detroit. They scored again in the 6th. They lead 8-1.
Yeah, even the Red Sox, as bad as they've been, if they win tonight, they're somewhere around 3.5, 3 games out of first place, so they haven't been buried. You have to think they're going to get better than what they have been.
Got a win streak going. Won their last 2.
Well, Minnesota went on the road and played pretty well after the Rangers swept them. Now they're in danger of getting swept by the Red Sox now that they're back home.
2-2 pitch. Base hit, right field. Kinsler scores. Hamilton around to third. It's 3-0.
Very nice 2-strike approach by Adrian. Fell behind, no balls and 2 strikes. And he wasn't trying to take a huge swing and hit the ball out of the ballpark. Hughes threw him a cutter that ended up right down the middle of the plate, it looked like. And Adrian just lines it nicely in the right center field for a big 2-out hit.
So tonight is 8th and 9th runs batted in. 3-run pad now for Feldman, and here's Michael Young. Michael grounded to short in the 2nd. And another notable score. Top of the 7th in Cleveland. Kansas City leading the Indians 4-1. The Royals trying to end a 12-game losing streak.
Wow.
They are 3-14. They were a trendy pick to contend in the Central this year. That's driven toward the gap, and that's headed for the wall. Hamilton scores. Beltre is headed home. No, we'll stop at third. A double by Michael Young, and it's 4-0.
Yeah, I think there are times where Dave might have waved Beltre, but you think maybe Dave was thinking Beltre's just back in the lineup after a sore leg and just didn't want to take any chances. Boy, there's the ultimate hanging curveball right there, the wrong guy. Michael just drills this into the gap. So the hit by pitch to Josh Hamilton opened up the door for Beltre and Michael to knock in runs.
Beltre slam it on the brakes around third. And after a visit from Larry Rothschild, Phil Hughes now will pitch to the 8th batter of the 3rd inning. Nelson Cruz with Clay Rapata beginning to throw.
Well, Hughes has made some good pitches tonight. He's got good stuff. His fastball is 92 to 94. Got a pretty good slider or cutter, but he's just grooved too many of them.
Boy, got away with one there too.
Throw that to Nelly when Nelly's hot, and watch out in right center field.
Hughes grounded to short in the 2nd inning. Base hit. Looking at a 6-run lead. That almost hit Cruz. And it did. Raised to Jersey, evidently. And the bases are loaded for David Murphy.
Well, Joe Girardi's got a decision to make right here. Left-hand hitter coming up, lefty in the bullpen. Do you take your starter out or do you give him one more hitter? Looked like he was jumping to the top step. I think he's going to send Martin out to talk to Hughes to make sure the lefty in the bullpen is warmed up. You can see the bloused part of the uniform, and Nelly jumps back, just gets grazed by the ball. I think Girardi's going to make a change. He just wants to make sure his pitcher's warmed up. Nope, changed his mind. Nope, he didn't change his mind.
So that'll do it for Phil Hughes. Couldn't get out of the third inning, in which the Rangers have turned a 1-0 lead into 4-0 and have the bases loaded as they bat around and end Phil Hughes' night at 2 2/3 innings. So on comes the lefty Clay Rapata. 4-0 Rangers. $2 Powerball from the Texas Lottery has landed, and the current estimated annuitized jackpot is $173 million. Play today because Powerball has changed for the bigger. The Rangers saw Clay Rapata for one batter last night. He got Mitch Morland to ground out in the 7th inning. 9th appearance of the year in the lefty-lefty matchup with David Murphy with the bases loaded. 2 outs and 3 runs already in. And strike one to David, who bounced to the mound to end the 2nd. Four nothing in the 3rd. Who wouldn't take that? But this could be 6-7-0 very quickly. No balls and 2 strikes. Getting started with a strikeout of Napoli, and things started to heat up. And David Murphy, Tom, having an outstanding year in lefty-lefty matchups. Morland got it going with a single. Kinsler followed with a double on the 2nd out of the inning. Morland scored on Andrus's ground out, and then Hamilton hit by a pitch. Beltre RBI single. Young an RBI double. Cruz hit by the last pitch thrown by Hughes. And this goes to Jeter, unassisted at 2nd. That'll end the inning, but the Rangers chase Phil Hughes with 3 runs on 4 hits, 2 hit batsmen. And they leave the bases loaded. After 3, Rangers by 4. Beltre got the scoring started, homering on the first pitch of the second inning. And then the Rangers added 3 in the third. Scott Feldman threw 3. Very solid 3 hits. He has struck out 3. And thrown 50 pitches, 32 for strikes. Here in the fourth, it's Cano, Teixeira, and Swisher. Cano walking up toward the mound as he takes strike 1. He grounded to second to end the first inning. And that is belted into right center field. Hamilton taking it on a hop. And that is the third leadoff single for the Yankees in the first 4 innings tonight. Here's Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Dave. Big announcement here from Ranger. That is John Blake. And, John, you got the All-Star balloting starting tonight, so this is big news for Ranger fans, right?
Well, the Rangers are drawing record crowds here early in the season, and we hope that they'll be able to do that here at the All-Star ballot box as well, Jim. 9 Rangers on the 2012 All-Star ballot. Pick the starting lineups for the July 10th game in Kansas City. Ron Washington managing the All-Star team for the second straight year. Looking for a win this year so he can get that home field advantage for the World Series. You can vote here at the ballpark through May 17th. Or go online, TexasRangers.com/All-Star. Great contest online, sweepstakes. Get half-price tickets if you vote a certain number of times. Again, fans need to vote and vote often.
There we go. Get through with this double play. Nope. It's one at first base. John, thank you very much. So, Ranger fans. Oh, he's called him safe. Are you kidding me? Oh, sorry about that. Ranger fans, come on out and vote. Also go online and vote. Appreciate it. Let's start voting, guys. Thanks, John. Good job. Appreciate it.
Well, that's a shame that ball turned into a base hit. Scott threw the cutter inside, shattered his bat, and a little dribbler back to the mound. The problem is the bat went right underneath Scott's legs as he went to field the ball. Watch this. He's got to wait for the bat to get by him before he could field the ball. Otherwise, that's a double play.
Infield hit instead. Teixeira is 2 for 2. See how big a break that turns into for the Yankees. As here is the American League RBI leader with 21, Nick Swisher. He flied to left his first time up.
Now that's a bad break. You make a pitch like that, jam a good hitter, and don't even get an out.
Robbie Ross, first Ranger up in the bullpen with Feldman approaching 60 pitches. Washington said before the game he was looking for 4 or 5 innings, 60 to 65 pitches out of Scott tonight. And ball 2. And then everybody available in the bullpen, including tonight, Neftali Feliz with the off day tomorrow. Series featuring the top 2 RBI producers in the league. Quiet series so far for Nick. 1 for 9, 1 RBI, and 3 strikeouts as he looks at ball 3. Inch or 2 away from a double play. Base is empty for Swisher.
You have 2 left-hand hitters coming up after Swisher, Ibanez and Chavez.
Here's the 3-0. And looks at a strike. Ranger pitchers have thrown 15 consecutive shutout innings. Last run they allowed was in the 6th inning on Monday when Jeter doubled in Chris Stewart. Pop up, and there's a start. Andrews trailing it onto the line, and there's out number 1. Here's Emily Jones.
Well, guys, you saw Robbie Ross warming in the Rangers bullpen, and it has been quite a start to his major league career. 5 appearances, already 3 wins, and he says there's a very good reason as to why he hasn't been overwhelmed by this experience.
It makes it a lot easier when you have a team behind you that's going to make plays and put up big runs for you. So, I mean, when you go out there to pitch, it's like you don't always have to have the pressure on yourself. You can get in there and think, well, you know, I got a bunch of guys behind me that can make plays and score runs. So you don't have to completely get so caught up with trying to do everything yourself. So it makes it a lot easier to pitch.
All I think I've heard more than one guy say that as far as this team is concerned, whether it be a pitcher or a position player. It seems to be the theme with this team. Everyone there to pick each other up, guys.
I'm sure you have heard that more than once, because we have.
Yeah, the reason you've heard it a lot is because it's true. It's exactly true. And they all recognize that.
Ibanez lined to center and turned it into a double play as Teixeira was doubled off first by Hamilton. That ended the second. See if Ibanez has another double play ball in him, as he's down 0-2. He's hit into 2 double plays last 2 games. This one has Murphy going back, and it's over his head and into the bullpen for a ground rule double, and that will force Teixeira to stop at third. But Cano scores, and the Yankees are on the board.
An 0-2 pitch. Ibanez had swung and missed with the pitch before it, but no balls and 2 strikes. You got a pitch up, out over the plate, not where Scott was trying to throw that. He's trying to throw it inside. It tails up and away. Definitely not a strike, but Ibanez put the bat on it.
And up and over, and that will do it tonight for Scott. 62 pitches, 41 for strikes. And he turns a 4-1 lead over to Robbie Ross. Fan guide for a chance to win a VIP experience for 2 this year at a World Series game. It's presented by Scotts, the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball. Robbie Ross takes over for the left-handed DH Eric Chavez. A run in, and it's second and third, and only 1 out. Robbie Ross getting his 3rd win Sunday, working a scoreless 10th inning in Detroit. 3 wins out of the Rangers' 8 on the 9-game road trip. And tying a major league record going back to 1918 with 3 relief wins in his first 5 career appearances. Alexi Ogando, one of 10 others who have achieved that record. And ahead of Chavez, 0-2. No other relief pitcher has as many wins as Robbie. That just does not compute. How did Eric Chavez never make an all-star team all those great years in Oakland? Aubrey Huff also in that boat. Reaches out, flips that one to left field. It's carrying Murphy with the catch. Teixeira will score and make it 4-2.
That's the second hitter that's hit the ball well. No balls and 2 strikes. Scott didn't get the ball where he wanted to, 0-2. And Ibanez doubled. And Chavez that time just trying to make some contact. Slapped the ball out there well enough to get the sacrifice fly. Not a bad pitch. Maybe not quite as far out as he wanted it. No balls and 2 strikes, but not a bad pitch. Down and away. Just nice job by Chavez right there to make the contact to get the sac fly.
So 2 outs. Ibanez still at second, and here is Martin, who grounded to first. Back in the third. Now at 190 for the season. And Neftali Feliz was up throwing as Ross was, and he stays up. Feliz may come in handy back in his old role tonight. That one is caught by Morland. Soft liner to retire Martin. And in the 4th inning, the Yankees on the board. 2 runs on 3 hits. They lead 1. Trivia question. Who was the first player in Rangers history to have a 4-hit game in the postseason? Mull that over. As David Phelps is on, the 3rd Yankee pitcher of the night.
Yeah, Phelps with pretty good numbers so far this season. Younger guys in the Yankee bullpen. Clay Rapata and Cody Epley were both former Rangers. Boone Logan, a lefty's a veteran. Corey Wade, pretty young pitcher. The 3 key guys for their bullpen, Soriano, Robertson, and Rivera, the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning guys. Robertson, an all-star as a setup man. But for the Yankees to have a good bullpen, their young guys, Epley, Phelps, Wade, Rapata, right now have to carry some of the load. Been doing a good job of it. So for Phelps, the 5th outing of the season and of his major league career. And first up, he's got Mike Napoli, struck out looking, leading off the 3rd. Phelps, 25, native of St. Louis, 14th round pick in 08 out of Notre Dame. And there's strike 2 to Mike. Majored in poli-sci and computer applications in South Bend. High, deep into the right field corner and gone.
number 7 for Napoli, and it's 5-2.
Well, we're seeing some no ball, 2-strike contact being made by the hitters. The Yankees several times last inning, and Mike Napoli, no balls and 2 strikes. That's a pretty good contact right down the right field line for a home run. That's not where he's trying to throw it. No balls and 2 strikes right down Broadway. He's lucky that's all that Mike did with it.
Over the wedge and then bounce back down into those seats just under the foul pole.
There's one of the 2 back.
Strike 1 to Morland, who singled, kicked off the Rangers' 3-run 3rd inning. Seven homers, 14 runs batted in for Mike. Now 1 behind his teammate Hamilton for the American League lead. 356 feet into the corner. Phelps worked most recently Saturday in Boston, and he went 4 innings, 6 hits and 3 runs in that game in which New York overcame the 9-0 deficit, won 15-9. He retired the first 13 batters he faced in the majors this year before a Vernon Wells homer in the 5th inning against the Angels last week. Angels still trailing at Tampa Bay. That's top of the 7th now, 2-1. Wells has homered in that one. Off of C.J. Wilson. Toronto batting top of the 9th. Trailing 3-0 at Baltimore, and Pedro Strop is on out of the Buck Showalter bullpen, going for the save. It's the timeout before the 2-2 pitch. Well, Rangers may have taken something out of the Tigers. Seattle bombing them 9-1, bottom of the 7th at Comerica, behind Felix Hernandez. Up and in, full count to Mitch. Then Zobrist homering off C.J. Wilson in the Angels Tampa Bay game. Only Angel run on the Vernon Wells homer. Wade Davis on the mound in the 7th for the Rays, who will open up 3-game series Friday. Good chance all 3 of those games will sell out. Not many tickets left. Friday night, 3-0 Matt Harrison against 3-0 James Shields. And Morland working the at bat. Eight pitches so far.
Well, the one spot he hasn't hit is right between the number 8 and the number 7. Throwing about 91 miles an hour right in there.
Breaking ball in the dirt for the walk. Saturday, May 5th, the UFC returns to Fox and immediately hits the air live with an explosive heavyweight bout between Lamar Johnson and Pat Barry, followed by 3 epic fights. UFC Fight Night on Fox, sponsored by Bud Light, live from East Rutherford, New Jersey on Saturday, May 5th at 7 p.m. Central. So Morland at first for Kinsler. Lined hard to the second baseman Cano in the first. Doubled and scored in the 3rd. Well, the Yankees had to double play depth in the infield. It's now even at 6 apiece. And taken for a strike. It's 1-1. So this game into the hands of the bullpens. And they are the top 2 bullpens in the American League. Yankees with the best bullpen ERA at 2.05. Right behind them, the Rangers 2.13. Base hit to center field for Kinsler.
Oh, was that a rope?
Ian is 2 for 3. Said it hard enough. He could be 3 for 3. Morland at second.
A little conference on the mound right here, talking a little strategy. Men on first and second, nobody out. Elvis up, middle of the order coming after him. Could be a bunt situation right here. Ron Washington likes to bunt with Elvis.
Check our Ford leaderboard. And there are the top bullpens in baseball so far. The Padres the best overall at 201 for a team that's 5-13. And the Orioles and the White Sox right behind these two clubs. Andrus 0 for 2. Lays down the bunt. Back to the mound. And Phelps has only the out at first as Morland and Kinsler move up. So 1-4 on the sacrifice by Elvis.
A-Rod charged, didn't get back to third base. I don't think Phelps was going to throw to third base anyway, but he might have had a play. He just wanted to get one out, and that's probably the smart thing.
So they walk Hamilton to load the bases with one out. Bring in the double play anywhere, force anywhere, but they'll pitch to Beltre instead, and all he's done tonight is homer and single and another run in the third.
You got to play, I guess, the odds right here. Play the percentages. You don't want to face Hamilton. You don't want to face Beltre, but you choose Beltre because it's a righty versus a righty, and it sets up the possible double play. So that's what Joe Girardi's thinking. Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach.
Beltre in position to really bust this thing wide open. Morland at third, Kinsler at second, now Hamilton at first. And the rookie Phelps gets a swing and a miss on a breaking ball way out of the zone. Another area in which the Rangers are right at the top. Runners in scoring position. Inside and the count even. Adrian tonight has his 8th and 9th RBIs of the year. His 3rd home run. Shallow right coming on, Swisher, and Morland will have to stay put. Not deep enough to score the run. Instead, 2 outs for Michael Young.
A big out for Phelps, but he's not out of the woods yet. Got to make a good pitch to Michael, or he can drive in some runs. Adrian's a little upset with himself, but Phelps made a good pitch. Got him to pop it up. Not quite deep enough to tag up.
So here is Young, who's grounded to short and doubled in a run. 13th RBI of the year. And Michael, with runners in scoring position, started the night hitting .500. He has increased that. No balls, 2 strikes. Wash trying to root that fly ball a few extra feet of distance.
Well, it was hopeful, but nothing happened. It didn't drop in, and it wasn't deep enough to tag up at third base. Now, if you got Gentry at third base, maybe you would try it. But most guys have to stay at third on that one. Swisher came up firing anyway. Another 0-2 pitch. Been some pretty good contact made this inning on 0-2 pitches. Ooh.
Just foul.
That would have been a thing of beauty.
That, in all likelihood, empties the bases.
If it gets down in the corner, it would.
Good a hitter as Michael Young is. He gets even better with the bases loaded. Career average is .348. He has 4 grand slams. That's that one go. 1-2. Joe Girardi got just 2 2/3 innings out of his starter Phil Hughes. 52 pitches, 4 runs on 5 hits, struck out 2, didn't walk anybody, but he hit 2 batters in the third. Rapata got the third out of the inning, and this ground ball handled by Cano. But the Rangers get another run on the leadoff home run by Mike Napoli. They will leave him loaded. Question for tonight. Who was the first Ranger to have a 4-hit game in the postseason? That was Vladimir Guerrero. 4 for 5 against these Yankees in Game 4 of the 2010 American League Championship Series. He dealt them some misery in that series 2 years ago. Top of the order against Robbie Ross here in the 5th. Jeter, Granderson, and A-Rod, as we are joined by Mark McLemore. Welcome, Mac.
Thank you.
Jeter 2 for 2 with a stolen base. What did you think about the outing by Scott Feldman tonight?
I thought he did a good job. You know, this is his longest outing. He went out there and he held this offense down, and that was really his job tonight. Yes, it would have been great for him to go 5, maybe even 6 innings.
Andrews right behind the bag. Jeter retired for the first time.
Well, the thing that hurt him as much as anything that inning was the ball that Teixeira hit, where the bat went flying right back at him. If the bat's not involved, maybe he catches that ball and turns a double play
ball. Absolutely. That's tough when, you know, being that close to a bat coming at you.
Yeah.
You really don't even focus on it. Really, you just know something's coming, and, you know, good luck trying to see the ball.
Just unfortunate play. And it was a great pitch, too, to jam Teixeira.
Well, actually, the pitch that Ibanez hit, man, that was a foot over his head?
Yeah, up and outside. Not much you can do about that.
He's a good high fastball hitter, but that's a little bit too high.
2 balls to the strike to Granderson, who was struck out and walked tonight. Ross got the final 2 outs of the 4th. Gave up a sac fly to Chavez and popped up Martin with Ibanez at second base. And Neftali Feliz continuing throwing in the Ranger bullpen inside of the full count. Well, Mac, you're talking about a very deep staff. They can afford to skip Feliz's turn in the rotation because he might be needed in the bullpen tonight, as this one is skied out to Hamilton. And let's go back to our Fox Sports Southwest studio for a Mazda CX-5 game break. Here's Neil Beasley. As score holds and this one holds, the Angels will be 8.5 out in the West. Here's A-Rod 0 for 2. Strikeout in the fielder's choice grounder.
You know, most teams don't really look at the scoreboard this early in the season.
Andrews.
Whoa. I think he's throwing better this year than he's ever been throwing.
Wow, nice.
Robbie Ross has retired all 5 Yankees he has faced. They go in order. The first time tonight in the 5th. Pick up tonight in relief, his 4th win. He is in position. This game continues on its current path. The Rangers leading 5-2 with Cruz, Murphy, and Napoli to hit in the bottom of the 5th. A good curve for strike 1 to Nelly, who's grounded to short. Last time up, got hit by a pitch. Actually, the jersey just got nicked. Rangers have left the bases loaded, in fact, each of the last 2 innings while they've scored their 4 runs. Rapata and Phelps actually done pretty well not to let this game get completely out of hand.
Mac, you've watched Elvis for a long time. He's never played defensively better than he's playing right now. Do you see any difference in him now?
I really do. I see he's playing every play, whether it's a ground ball, line drive, pop up over here down the third baseline. He's playing every ball with intent.
Yeah.
He's going after everything like the game is on the line. And it really is, and that's how you have to approach it. You know that. And he's looking tremendous right now. I love it.
And isn't that what Ron Washington has tried to remind him
over
the last few years?
Yes, he has. And he's finally getting it. And, you know, like I've said about Derek Holland, whatever it is, Derek Holland's found it, and it looks like Elvis has found it defensively.
Two-two pitch. Got that one right past him. First strikeout for Phelps. Emily has got a thought or two about Elvis.
I know it sounds kind of crazy, but I talked to Elvis today about the mouthpiece that he's been wearing, and he said it actually helps him to concentrate. He says he's bitten his fingernails for so long. His mother hates it, and he said he's trying to find a way to stop biting his fingernails, so he got the mouth guard. He says it actually helps him concentrate because he's not focused on biting his nails, and now he's taking a look at him actually right now on cue. But he's playing with the mouthpiece instead of paying attention to his fingernails. I know it sounds crazy, but if it works, right?
He didn't bite him. All he could do was look at him because he still had the mouth guard in his mouth. So it's still working.
There you go.
And now he took the mouth guard out.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh no.
So much for the mouthpiece.
Well, he's in the dugout, and it's not out in the field.
I know it. But you could tell it's a problem for him because he's battling it right now. So anyway,
well, he's making a lot of progress.
For what it's worth, guys.
Saying, get the camera out of my face. I don't blame you.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Murphy. David, a couple of ground outs tonight. Bobby Ross as the rookie of the bullpen. As that is off Phelps right to Cano in time to get Murphy for out number 2.
Got to get some good bounces. That was a pretty good bounce right there to Cano on a line drive that would have been right up the middle. Looks like Phelps is okay. Couldn't tell exactly where it glanced off him. Let's see. That was close. Good play by Cano. Nice play.
Great play. He's going to his right. He has to reach back left and then put something on the throw.
Boy, that almost got his throwing hand.
Right off his glove, it looked like.
Good stretch by Teixeira to get Murphy. Barely. And here is Napoli. Phelps sees him for the second time. 1 pitch, and he rolls over to Jeter. Well, Mac, no offense out of you tonight.
None. I think we already got it all.
You kept the lead, though.
There we go. I didn't give it up.
We got room to grow.
There we go.
On to the 6th. It's 5-2. 5-2 in the 6th. Big double play. Ibanez flying out to Hamilton, who doubled off to Sheriff. Adrian Beltre leading off the second, 441 feet to dead center. And Michael Young, the Rangers' 3-run third, delivered an RBI double. And Robbie Ross came on to get the final 2 outs of the 4th inning. He's retired all 5 batters he's faced. 2 grounders in the 5th to Andrews, and a Granderson fly out to center field. So it's Cano, Teixeira, and Swisher in the Yankees 6th. And Cano started their 2-run rally in the 4th with a leadoff single. And a ball and a strike. As the rookie of the bullpen is Robbie Ross's fate this year, to be hazed, as baseball tradition holds. In his case, here's the hazing.
Pretty harmless hazing.
And he has fun with it.
He actually gets a pretty nice ovation every time he walks out to the bullpen before the game. The fans love that.
To the strains of Happy Trails. And he just plays right along. He's got the perfect attitude. Did you ever know of a rookie who took exception to that role? I mean, because you're just asking for trouble if you are.
I don't know of any.
Something all the rookies play along with pretty well. And called strike 3.
What a great pitch. Got Cano looking away and just zipped a 92-mile-an-hour sinker right in on the fists. Robbie's faced 6 batters and retired every one of them. See, the catcher has his glove right there and just drops that ball right on the inside corner. What a nice pitch. Now, Robbie's job today is to shut the Yankees down in the middle innings, get to the 7th inning, and then you've got Ogando, Adams, and Nathan.
Mark Teixeira 2 for 2 tonight. The break for the Yankees tonight was the broken bat roller he hit in the 4th. Went for an infield single instead of a double play.
Right on the outside corner. Yeah, that really kind of set the inning up. Without that bat, Scott has a great chance to field it and turn a double play, or at least get 1 out.
Feldman's line tonight, 3 in the 3rd innings, 2 runs on 6 hits. He struck out 3, walked 1 through 62 pitches. That is a fair ball, fielded by a hustling Mike Napoli.
Teixeira saying it hit him in the leg.
Brian Runge says nope. Now Joe Girardi hearing that. Didn't look like any contact with him.
It's tough to tell from that angle. Let's see. I don't think so.
Yeah.
But who knows? Tough to say.
Looked like right in front of his toe.
Tex kind of took that little step like it hit him a little bit too late.
Great hustle by Napoli, assuming nothing. Assuming there's a play to be made there. Until he hears otherwise, and he never did. So here is Swisher, who has flied to left and popped to short. Ross trying to make it 8 up, 8 down. And this roller.
That one hit him.
Swisher down in pain. And trying to limp it off. This had to hurt.
Right off the inside of the left knee.
Baseball on bone. So foul ball it is. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Trying to gather himself. And the 2-2 pitch. Call strike 3. 1, 2, 3 with 2 strikeouts in the 6th.
It's making it look easy. 8 up, 8 down.
Inning brought to you by Sonic. Tonight's jackpot is worth $200 and dinner for 2 at a Sonic drive-in. Tonight the Rangers are hitting for Jack Blake from Carthage. If a Ranger hits a grand slam during this inning, Jack Blake will win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. Morland, Kinsler, and Andrews in the Rangers half of the 6th against David Phelps, on for his 3rd inning in relief. And he walked Mitch in the 4th. Eventually the Rangers loaded the bases, but came away empty after Napoli had hit his leadoff home run. Rangers left him loaded in the 3rd as well when they got 3 runs and chased the starter Phil Hughes. He got all of that one.
Well, I'd say Mitch is starting to put his swing together today. Has a line shot to center field. He worked the walk and just ripped that thing out of here.
Jack Blake from Carthage, a winner of the $200 jackpot in the Sonic Slam inning, courtesy Mitch Moreland's 2nd home run of the year.
No doubt about that line shot. Top of the strike zone. Didn't take long to get there either. Pitcher knew it the second he heard it.
And Ian Kinsler rifles a base hit in front of Granderson. He is 3 for 4. .410 feet. A little more hang time. It might have reached the upper porch.
Well, if he got it up a little bit, it definitely would have.
Larry Rothschild making his way to the mound. The Rangers have 3 home runs tonight. They have all been leadoff shots. Beltre in the 2nd, Napoli in the 4th, and now Morland in the 6th. And Phelps knew to expect the worst.
He doesn't even have to watch it. He doesn't even want to see where that one ended.
It's quite a sight. He missed it.
I liked it.
It's been a potential breakout game for Mitch Morland. Singled and scored his first time up. Phelps walked in the 4th. Gives up the home run ball here in the 6th. 6-2 Rangers. Kinsler at first. And nobody out for Andrews, who has struck out, driven in a run on a ground out, and laid down a sacrifice bunt in the 4th. As the Yankee bullpen springs into action again. Close at first. Ian just back. Well, this figured to be a game where the Rangers bullpen would get a lot of use, and the spot start by Feldman. He went 3 1/3. And it's been Ross ever since. While the Yankees are pretty close to putting their 4th pitcher of the night in. Might be the lefty Boone Logan or the right-hander Cody Epley, former Ranger. A-Rod creeping in on the grass. The bunt goes the other way. The only play for Martin is to first, and Elvis has his 2nd straight sacrifice bunt. His 3rd and 4th of the year.
The last time up, the first base was open. They walked Hamilton, and I'm pretty sure they're going to do it again. We've got a guy hitting 400 with 8 home runs and 19 RBIs this early in the season. It only makes sense.
Pitch to Beltre. He's already had a big night. This is the 3rd straight time for Jost to reach. Hit by a pitch in the 3rd. 2nd straight intentional walk. Only ball he put into play, grounded to first in the 1st. Beltre, on the other hand, a homer, leading off the 2nd, and contributed an RBI single to the 3-run 3rd. And last time up, flied out to right, not quite deep enough to score Mitch Morland from 3rd in that case. So Girardi again electing to put Hamilton on. 1st and 2nd with 1 out for Beltre. Third a homer of the year in the 2nd. His 8th and 9th runs batted in tonight. And he takes that strike. Inside, 1-1. Phelps got an award this spring. Yankees call it the James P. Dawson Award for the most outstanding rookie in spring training this year, and he was outstanding. 2.08 ERA.
Well, he missed with a slider, and Beltre didn't swing at it, and now he's got a little bit of a dilemma. What's he going to throw right here? He's thinking about it right now. I try to get him to swing at a slider. Can I throw a fastball for a strike? I'll depend on my catcher for that one.
A rocket to left field and a base hit. Kinsler coming home to make it 7-2. Beltre has his third run batted in tonight.
Well, he decided on the fastball, and that was a bad choice, especially in the location that it ended up in. Right down the middle.
It's about the exact spot for Phil Hughes' first pitch of the second inning.
Well, it was just about the same pitch.
Just 3 fewer total bases involved here as Kinsler sprinted around and scored. And with Nelson Cruz up next, the former Ranger Cody Epley is in.
Ring of Fire.
Texas takes on San Diego during interleague play in June, and what better reason for a road trip to California? Join other Rangers fans for a Rangers destinations trip, including hotel accommodations, game tickets, a VIP ballpark tour, and the chance to meet Mike Napoli. Get details at TexasRangers.com/destinations. So it is Cody Epley on to work to the right-handed hitters. Young to be followed by Cruz, former Ranger, on for the third time this year. His Yankee debut was Friday at Boston. Worked a scoreless inning there Saturday as well. Up from AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre last Thursday. First pitch to Michael, wide. Doubled in a run in the third, along with a couple of grounders. Here he's got Hamilton at second, Beltre at first. 2 runs in with 1 out. Epley made his major league debut with the Rangers last year. 10 outings. He was 1-1, but with an ERA of 8. 8 earned runs in 9 innings. 5 walks, struck out 6, allowed 3 homers. Most of last year, AAA Round Rock. 4-2 there with a 3.90 ERA. To Jeter. Cano and on to Teixeira. It's a 6-4-3 double play. So Epley does the job of the Rangers. Get 2 more runs on 3 more hits, the first of which Mitch Morland ripped into the seats in right. Sports Southwest, brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Drive the 2012 F-150 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Ford is the best in Texas. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Jack in the Box, where right now you can try the new Chipotle Chicken Club Combo for only $4.99 plus tax. Napoli Feliz is on for the 7th after our Jimmy John's delivery of the game, courtesy the rookie Robbie Ross, who retired all 8 batters he faced.
And what you're going to see is a lot of hitters getting jammed. A-Rod got jammed. He got jammed if he swung at it. Teixeira gets jammed. Looking for strike 3. 8 up, 8 down, 2 strikeouts, and not a hard hit ball in all 8 at bats. That was very impressive by Robbie. And Neffy going to get some work. I guess, you know, one way to look at it, Neffy needs the work to stay tuned up for his next start. And the other thing is, the more times early in the season that you don't have to use Ogando, Adams, Nathan, the stronger and fresher they're going to be at the end of the season when you do need them. And all those guys had a pretty good workload the first week or 10 days of the season. And I think it's a good thing. The less you have to use them, the better off it is later.
Well hit by Ibanez. And way up in the upper porch. A rude greeting for Feliz's return to relief pitching. Ibanez's 3rd home run of the year.
Oh, fastball right down the center of the plate. And that's way back there, halfway up the seats in right field.
That's Hamilton's territory up there. So 7-3. And here is Chavez, who has struck out and greeted Ross with a sacrifice fly. Brought home their 2nd run of the 4th. Just in there for a strike, 2-1.
Couldn't throw his fastball over, so he dropped a changeup in for a strike.
He taps that one foul.
Another changeup.
Ranger bullpen coming into tonight had thrown 7 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings. Got it up to 10 1/3 on Ross's 2 2/3 innings. And the distance on the Ibanez home run is 427 feet. It's close to halfway up the upper home run porch. Two pitch is grounded right to Morland, just behind the bag. There's out number 1. And again, if you weren't with us earlier, Ron Washington saying that Napoli Feliz will start next on Tuesday in Toronto. They will not need him in the Tampa Bay series, which will open Friday with Matt Harrison on the mound. Russell Martin 0 for 2. It's grounded out and popped up. So knowing that at best he was going to get 5 innings out of Feldman, Wash had the extra arm out there in Feliz. Scott went 3 1/3, giving up 2 runs on 6 hits, striking out 3, walking 1 through 62 pitches, right at his goal.
And the other thing, you're talking about the bullpen, you try to get them as much rest. Neffy's never started before, and you're probably going to have some kind of an innings limit for him this year. It's not going to be 200. So it's a perfect chance early in the season to skip a start and to stay strong at the end of the year. You've got a guy like Scott that can step in. You've got a deep bullpen, tremendous rotation. Try to keep Neffy sharp all season long. It's not a bad idea. Whoops.
Excuse me, roller to Morland. Martin is out, number 2.
All season, early in the season, been impressed with the off-speed pitches that Neffy has had to go along with his fastball. And today gave up the home run on a fastball to Ibanez, then went to his changeup to Chavez, his slider to Martin, and got 2 quick outs by featuring his off-speed pitches.
And after knowing he would be in the rotation this year, really took advantage of the offseason to get those off-speed pitches up to snuff. They have been real weapons for him. So here's Jeter, singled his first 2 trips, stole the base in the first. But Feldman stranded him at second. And Ross got him to ground to short last time up in the 5th. Angels batting top of the 9th at Tampa Bay, trailing the Rays 3-1.
Angels had a hard time scoring runs. Got shut out yesterday.
Only run tonight is a Vernon Wells homer in the 4th. Big cut and a miss by Jeter at 95 miles an hour. It's 1-2. So if this score holds, Rangers will lead the Angels by 8.5 games. One-two pitch is wide, 2-2. Oakland won. It took them 14 innings at the Coliseum to beat the White Sox, but they did it 5-4. They gave Chicago 2 in the top of the 14th and won it with 3 in the bottom.
Nice slider. Wow. Neffy picked it up after that home run.
Long by Ibanez to the upper deck, but then the next 3 retired. Stretch time, 7-3. Has had 3 of them. Beltre has had 3, including a homer. He's driven in 3. And homers as well by Napoli and Morland. 7-3 with Cruz, Murphy, and Napoli in the bottom of the 7th inning. And it is all over in St. Petersburg. Tampa Bay gives up a run of the night, but they beat the Angels 3-2. Jeremy Hellickson improves to 3-0. C.J. Wilson falls to 2-2. Fernando Rodney gets his 6th save. And if the Rangers hang on to this, they will lead the Angels by 8.5 games. And here's a note. Here's a little perspective, Tom. Last year, the Rangers did not get as big as an 8.5 game lead on the Angels until the next to last day of the season. They swept that closing 3-game series in Anaheim, went into it with a 7-game lead, won the division by 10. LA now 6-12.
Well, the only thing the Angels could have hoped for starting off 6-12 is that the Rangers were 9-9 right now, and they didn't have to make up that much ground. But it's kind of a perfect storm against the Angels. Terrible start for them and an excellent start for the Rangers.
Seattle has finished off their victory at Detroit 9-1. King Felix improves to 2-1. Adam Wilk falls to 0-3. And Seattle improves to a game under 500. They're 9-10. Started the day 6 back. So 1 out. And here is Murphy. 3 grounders tonight for David. Yet to extend his 5-game hitting streak. And that one is foul. 47,942 tonight. The 5th sellout of the year, and all 3 of these games against the Yankees have been sellouts. All 3 against the Rays are likely to be. So get online at TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS. Come on out. Watch what should be a very entertaining series.
Yeah, the Rays have won 4 straight. They're 11-7 now, tied for first place in the East. They're a great opponent in the postseason the last couple of years. 2 really good 5-game series. They got a tremendous young team. Good sinker right there by Epley.
Again, the matchup Friday night to 3-0 pitchers, Matt Harrison and James Shields. Matt, the ERA leader in the American League at 166. David reaches out, slaps that one to A-Rod, and there's the 2nd out. Well, here's the Nissan pitching matchup for Friday. Shields off to an excellent start as well. 3-0 in his first 4 starts. Matt has won all 3 of his. 7 o'clock on TX 821 if you can't join us here at the ballpark. All 3 of those games, 7:05 starts, including Sunday night. Mike Napoli looks at a strike. He has struck out looking. Homered to right. Leading off the 4th off of David Phelps. Last time up, he grounded to short. And 0-2. Mike Adams loosening up for a while out in the bullpen. He will be ready in the 8th inning. Cody Epley's retired all 3 Rangers he's faced. On a double play grounder, he got Young to end the 6th. Groundouts by Cruz and Murphy here in the 7th.
Ranger fans all over the country.
I think she wins the award for longest distance travel to get to the ballpark. And she's getting a good show tonight. The 2-2. Full count. Another final of note in the American League. The Royals finally end their 12-game losing streak. They win at Cleveland 8-2. Hoche for the win, now 2-1. Ubaldo Jimenez, the loser, 2-1. Ball 4 and a 2-out walk to Napoli.
Yeah, lefty warming in the bullpen. You got a couple lefties coming up. One lefty coming up, Mitch Morland. And Joe Girardi is going to get his left-hander shot. Boone Logan out there warming up. Guess they got a new lefty out there.
That is Logan. So the end of a 4-batter appearance for Cody Epley. Boone Logan making his way in a 7-3 game. Books this date in Rangers history. In 1978, Ferguson Jenkins throws a complete game 4-hitter. The Rangers win 4-1 in 1 hour 48 minutes. In a modern day Yankee game, that gets you about to the 5th inning. But Fergie would get the ball and throw it. Did not mess around.
You get the ball and throw it, the other team couldn't hit it. Never walked yet.
You got a game a half hour longer than that today. It's a very short game by today's standards. So here is Logan against Morland. 2 outs, Napoli at first. Logan struck out Hamilton, the only batter he faced to the 8th last night. Out of San Antonio, born there, went to O'Connor High School. Off-season residence, Helotes. Good night for Mitch. Singled and scored in the 3rd, walked in the 4th, and led off the 6th with his 2nd home run of the year. And that one is lifted high to right field. But in front of the track, Swisher squeezes the 3rd out. So Logan needs just 2 pitches to end the inning. Rangers lead 1. We go to the 8th. Still 7-3. Mike Adams is ready. Over keys to the game tonight. Josh Hamilton early on catches the Ibanez line drive, doubles Teixeira off first. End of the second with that double play. Long balls tonight. Beltre, Napoli, and Morland. And Robbie Ross came out of the bullpen and threw 2 2/3 innings of perfect relief. 8 up, 8 down with 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, Robbie was terrific. Made a lot of good pitches. Neffy got his work in the 7th. Gave up the home run early, but then pitched well the last 3 hitters. Well, Mike Adams will get an inning.
And in the 8th inning with the lead, Craig Gentry enters in center and moves Josh Hamilton over to left. And first up for Adams will be Curtis Granderson, who has struck out, walked, and flied to center tonight. Hitless on opening day, and not since until he got here. 0 for 3 last night. Trying to avoid the same tonight. Left-handed hitters against Mike Adams are just 4 for 21 on the year, 190. Righties are 3 for 9. Mike scored on only 1 of his first 8 outings this year. And quickly jumps out in front. No balls, 2 strikes.
That hard slider, cutter, whatever you want to call it. The first one was kind of on the outside corner. He took it. That was a beauty down and in.
Oh, 2 got him swinging.
And that one was away.
Second straight night, Granderson strikes out twice.
The last couple of nights, the Yankees have seen some excellent pitching. Maybe tonight, early in the game, Scott Feldman ended up giving up 6 hits and 2 runs in 3 1/3, but he threw the ball better than those numbers. A little break here and there, he would have thrown 4 innings without giving up a run. Darvish was tremendous last night. Not a lot of good swings by the Yankees. They've hit some balls hard, a few here and a few there, but considering how they normally hit the ball, Ranger pitching has shut them down the last 2 nights.
2 hard luck runs for Feldman. Almost got a double play on the Teixeira bleeder, went for an infield hit. That is a foul ball, and A-Rod down 0-2.
I acknowledge you. You are officially acknowledged.
And you have made his day.
Give me some acknowledgement. Make me worthy.
Verify my existence.
You are verified.
Thought of packed house today, 47,942. The 0-2 pitch to A-Rod. He lays off. Yankees won their last 6 games immediately following a shutout. String very much in jeopardy here tonight as A-Rod pops that one right behind the mound, and Andrews has the second out. To celebrate 40 years of baseball in the Metroplex, Metro PCS and Southwest Airlines are offering a chance to win a trip for 4 to watch your home team play in Los Angeles. Register to win at metropcsflyaway.com. This Ranger bullpen tonight has faced 14 Yankees and retired 13. Only the Ibanez leadoff homer off of Neftali Feliz in the 7th. Have the Yankees managed against Robbie Ross, Feliz, and now Adams. Pretty quiet series for Cano. Hasn't driven in a run. Still has only 3 runs batted in on the year. 1 homer.
Well, he's averaged 25 home runs the last 3 years. Knocked in 118 runs last year. 46 doubles.
Two-0 pitch. Bounced right to Kinsler, and Adams works a perfect 8th. More sparkling work by the Ranger Relief Corps.
They lead the Yankees 7-3. We head to the bottom of the 8th. And David, top time for the Progressive fan of the game. It has to go from Ray, from McKinney. He's ape over those Rangers in this hot suit all game long. How does it feel in there, Ray?
Jim, it's hot, but for 3 years in a row, I'll do it every day as long as the Rangers keep winning, baby. Woo!
Here we go. Here's the bag. Congratulations. Let's unveil your identity. There you go, Ray. There you go, Ray. Congratulations. Ranger fan of the game. Way to go, guys. Yeah.
And on an 88-degree evening, shows that a time.
You gotta love it.
Gotta admire it. So the 8th inning, and Rafael Soriano is on the 6th Yankee pitcher of the night. Boone Logan retired, the only batter he faced, and Soriano gets the top of the order, and it's been a big night for Ian Kinsler. 3 for 4, 2 runs scored. First action for Soriano in the series. And the curve misses. 2 balls, no strikes. Soriano, 32, from the Dominican Republic. And down 3-0. Yankees starter Phil Hughes lasted just 2 2/3 innings, 4 runs on 5 hits. Rapata on for a third, and the rest of the damage was against David Phelps. 2 1/3. He allowed 3 runs on 5 hits. Just about in his tracks out at left field. There's Raul Ibanez for the out. And Joe Nathan throwing the Ranger bullpen. In the Yankee ninth, their 5, 6, and 7 hitters are due up to Shara Swisher and Ibanez. Elvis Andrus, without getting a ball out of the infield, has had a very productive night. RBI ground out in the 3rd and successful sacrifices in the 4th and the 6th. And more spotless play in the field. Out of play, 0-2. Elvis's 18th game. Still has not committed an error. Ron Washington said he didn't say a word to Elvis this spring about his defense. Turns out he hasn't needed to. Elvis has shown maturity. Wash said he was so good, so young, that the expectations were that much greater for Elvis. Very young age, and he says the difference he's seen this year is focus. He's never lost focus, which in the past has led to errors on the routine plays. Almost hit there.
Yeah, and that's when we had Mac in the booth in the 5th inning. That's exactly what Mac said. He's playing every ball aggressively, like it's a play that has to be made in a 1-run ball game. And there were times over the first 3 years where occasionally he'd field the ball back on his heels and the ball would sail on him and it'd be a careless error. Not a lot, but occasionally.
There's a base hit.
Haven't seen any of that this year.
Let's check in with Emily.
Well, gentlemen, you saw Joe Nathan warming in the Rangers bullpen, and we saw a very brief outing from Mr. Nathan last night, the shortest of his career. 1 pitch, 2 outs, and 1 save. And Joe says it was a nice way to get business done, especially against a team he has struggled against. And when you look at the way that he blew those 2 saves in the first homestand of the season, he says it's nice to have bounced back the way he has.
This isn't the first time I've gone through something like this where I've struggled in the beginning and then put together a pretty good string. So really just wanted to keep concentrating and going out there and working hard on making pitches and trying to get wins. I don't care how it comes. I don't care if I give up a couple runs and we still get a win, as long as at the end of the day we got a W, because when it's all said and done, it's about winning ball games.
Gentlemen, back up to you.
All right, Emily, and Elvis steals his 3rd base of the year in as many tries. But
he made some contact with the back of his head too.
Jamie Reed out to check on him. Good to see the smile. Well, the way he is playing, you don't want anything to get in the way.
The ball's what hit him. Didn't know if he bumped into Jeter. Oh, there's a beautiful shot of it.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of right between the helmet and the neck, it looked like. Says he's okay. He stays in the game.
Russell Martin's throw. Only thing that was any kind of problem tonight for Elvis, but he'll stay put. Scoring position with 1 out. And here is Hamilton. There he goes after the first pitch.
Yeah, he hasn't seen that pitch on the first pitch very often, a fastball to hit. He's had to hit some tough pitches. Probably surprised him a little bit.
Grounded to first in the first, since then hit by pitch. In his last 2 trips, he was intentionally walked. scored after being plunked by Hughes in the third. 3 batters later, Hughes hit Cruz with the last pitch he would throw. And then the parade of the Yankee relief corps: Rapana, Phelps, Epley, Logan, and now Rafael Soriano here in the 8th. Sharply on one hop to Robinson Cano for the second out. Andrus advances to third. And Adrian Beltre on a 3-for-4 night with a homer and 3 runs batted in.
Just another example of why it's so fortunate that that wasn't a hamstring injury to Adrian. I want to miss that bat in the lineup or the defense at third base.
That was the kind of news that makes you think, well, maybe the baseball gods are with the Rangers this year, when it turned out to be just soreness around the hamstring, but not actually involving what's been a troublesome injury for Adrian in the past.
Got his average up to 317 with the 3 hits.
3 of the Rangers, 11. 4 balls, 2 strikes. For the Yankees, against 4 Ranger pitchers, 3 runs on just 7 hits. Last team to beat the Rangers back-to-back in the regular season, still the Red Sox, August 23rd, 24th, 25th last year. Lazy fly ball to Granderson, and that takes care of the Ranger 8th. No runs, a hit, a man left. Joe Nathan ready for the 9th. Teixeira, Swisher, and Ibanez are ready for New York. Southwest brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your local Ford dealer and drive the 2012 F-150. Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Ford is the best in Texas. By Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. And by the Progressive Insurance Group. For money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. 5th sellout. 3rd of this Yankee series on hand tonight, just under 48,000. And they're ready to watch Joe Nathan go to work. For the 10th time this year, non-save situation here. And he starts with Mark Teixeira, who singled his first 2 trips. And last time up with a little bleeder in front of the plate thrown out by Napoli. Ranger pitching has held Texas bat about as in check as you can ask for. 2 for 11 in the series. Has not driven in a run. Scored only 1. And behind Nathan here, 1 and 2, and Joe gets him swinging.
Nice hard slider. After a couple pitches up, with Teixeira hit off of that and fouled off, gets him with a hard breaking ball down at the bottom of the strike zone.
Let's find out from John Radigan what he's got coming up for us on Rangers Live. John?
Yeah, Dave, thanks very much. Last night at the ballpark there was electricity. Tonight Rangers fans have joy and swagger. So we'll let some of those fans swagger with Jim Knox after the game. Also lots of post-game. A couple of on-field interviews. And, of course, Ron Washington and others from in the clubhouse. Mark McLemore joins me for Rangers Live right after the game, guys.
All right, John. Nick Swisher 0 for 3 tonight. Struck out last time. Just 1 for 11 in the series. Only 1 run batted in. Also, a Yankee bat can be dangerous and has been held well in check in this series.
Michael Kay with a ball.
That is our counterpart on Yankees TV. He got that foul ball. Nicely done, Michael.
Brian's acting like he's having a good time in their booth. Good actor.
Hiding his true Ranger colors.
Yep.
Two 2-1 pitch to Swisher. A little bit high. Maybe right on the edge. Down the left field line, fair and into the corner. Hamilton comes up with it. Swisher has a 1-out double. Only the second Yankee hit since the 4th inning. In other words, second hit against the Ranger bullpen tonight. The other one was from the man Nathan will now face, Ibanez. Inside outswing on that one for Swisher. And here is Ibanez, who homered leading off the 7th inning against Napoli Feliz. .427 feet into the right field seats. Drove in a run on a ground rule double in the 4th. That's in there. 7 runs, 11 hits for the Rangers. No errors. They have left 9. 3 runs, 8 hits now for the Yankees. Also no errors, and they've left 4. Feldman went the first 3 and a third. 2 2/3 from Ross, an inning apiece from Feliz and Adams, and now Nathan. Lifted to medium center field, and Craig Gentry is there for the 2nd out. And this sellout house rising behind Nathan now, trying to help him get the 27th out. Eric Chavez, the batter. Good work by both Feldman and Ross tonight.
Robbie Ross, when Joe gets this last out, he'll be 4-0 after 19 games.
Wild miss by Chavez. Worked out as well as those two could have hoped tonight. Spot start situation. Last night, Nathan's first ever one-pitch save. One pitch for the game-ending double play. This will be his 14th pitch tonight. And it's 0-2 to Chavez. Oh, now he wants cookies?
Don't press your luck, pal. You've been acknowledged. The deal is you send cookies. You don't get cookies. No, if we had them, we'd send them out to you. We had a great batch tonight. Unfortunately, they were so good, they're all gone. But next time, we'll send you out some. Just kidding.
Chavez stays alive. Boy, we verified his existence on the planet. That's not enough. Oh, he's going to have sweets.
Doesn't hurt to ask. You probably heard us talking about the cake balls, the cookie dough brownies, the chocolate chips. Man, what a night. Lemon cupcakes, sugar cookies. And it's all gone. Start over tomorrow.
And a 7-3 Ranger lead.
Almost forgot the submarine sandwiches. They went the fastest. Gary Campanazzi, man, he can make some submarine sandwiches. He ought to open a restaurant takeout right out of his house.
Nathan. Swisher leading off second. The 0-2 pitch. Wide with the breaking ball, 1-2. Off day tomorrow. Rays in Friday. Rangers can start that series. Major League best record of 15-4. As soon as they get this final out. And this should do it. Popped up, coming in. Beltre makes the call and the catch, and the Rangers take a 7-3 win.
Well, on a night where you've got a spot start from Scott Feldman, the Ranger pitchers do an excellent job. They gave up 8 hits and 3 runs. Robbie Ross pitched to 8 batters, retired them all, got the win, went to 4-0. Neffy got a little work before his next start. Adams and Nathan do what they've done all season long. Beltre had a big game. All in all, Rangers win 2 out of 3 from the Yankees after losing that first one. Nice comeback by the team. Yankees came in hot too.
What a job by the bullpen tonight. 5 2/3 innings. 1 run on 2 hits. 5 strikeouts. No walks from Ross, Feliz, Adams, and Nathan. As the Rangers take yet another series victory. Their 11th straight going back to last year. Down we go to Jim Knox.
All right, here he is, Dave, the rookie, Robbie Ross. You pick up your 4th win of the season, goes against the Yankees. Did you ever imagine your rookie season right now, this time of year, you have 4 wins?
No, sir. I didn't expect this at all. It was just come in here and just work hard and try to work out of the pen and see what happens. And I ended up getting another win today, and it's great. I'm just enjoying it and just thankful for the opportunity.
You were in control just about the entire time you were out there. Robbie, what makes you such an effective pitcher?
I don't know. I just try to go out there and have fun, enjoy it, and I just try to battle. I think it's easy to pitch when you got a team like we do. We got guys behind us that are going to score runs, guys that'll make plays for us. So it makes it way easier to go out there and try to do what you have to do when you got a team behind you that can do it.
There you go, Robbie. Congratulations on the night. Appreciate you. Thank you. Dave?
All right, Jim. The Rangers improved to 15-4, expanding their best start ever. Oakland won this afternoon over the White Sox. They stay 5.5 back. Seattle won big at Detroit. They stay 6 back. The Angels lose at Tampa Bay, and they fall to 8.5 games behind the Rangers.